Hello and welcome to episode number, I believe, 277 of the TEW Challenge run. This is going to be SmackDown for week 2 of August 2022, and we're coming off a big episode of Raw, but, you know, SmackDown is still also heating up, because the WWE Championship situation is now all up in the air in case you missed Raw. A bang average main event between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns ended in a count-out. So, what I have now learned is to never use the epic road agent note ever again. But beyond that, tonight Crypto Corbin defends his US title against Ricochet. The final Liberty Championship qualifier will taking the place when Mandy Rose was supposed to wrestle Anne-Marie Porter, but she got injured on Heat, so who knows what's happening there. And a whole lot of other stuff. You know, that 8-man tag team match with Adam Cole, Kevin Owens, and the House of Black against DIY and... No, Adam Cole, Kevin Owens, Dijakovic and Buddy Murphy against DIY and the House of Black. But, you know, Kevin Owens is now a politician, it seems, so he won't be here either. So I've got a lot of stuff to fix, and I'm going to be doing it on here tonight. Without any further ado, let's go straight into the show. Show opens. Kayla's in the parking lot, and she's gassing up tonight's episode of SmackDown. When what rolls in through the parking lot, we hear the horns blare. What pulls up, but the Nightmare Family bus, and Cody steps out. And she's like, "Cody Rhodes, you're a Raw superstar. What are you doing here on SmackDown?" And he's like, "You know, Kayla, you think I'm just gonna let the WWE champion get away with what he did on Raw? I'm here to give Roman a piece of my mind. I know he's gonna be here tonight." So I thought, why not come here myself and see what the Tribal Chief's all about on his home turf? And then he just casually walks into the building because Kayla can't stop him. We then cut to the ring for a contract signing for the SmackDown Women's Championship match. It's going to be made official for SummerSlam Night 1, I want to say. Yeah, Night 1. And let's first welcome out the number 1 contender, the Queen's Crown 2022 champion, Kairi Sane, the Queen of the Seas, the Pirate Queen, whatever you want to call her. She comes to the ring, takes her seat, and then Pierce welcomes out the SmackDown Women's Champion, Dakota Kai. And Pierce's like, "Well, ladies, fire away." And Kairi's like, "You, Dakota." It's like, we've known each other a long time. You and me were in NXT together. We were in the Mae Young Classic together. We were friends for a long time, but you changed. And now you are disrespecting me, you're disrespecting everybody with this attitude shift. But it's funny because when I look at you, I see myself, we are like each other. That's when Dakota, she goes into another laughing fit. She just starts pointing at Kairi and laughing. And Kairi's like, "What's funny?" And Dakota suddenly stops and just sort of stares at Kairi and takes the microphone of herself. She's like, "You wanna know what's funny, Kairi? You. The fact that you won Queen's Crown, which is a hell of an accomplishment, you know, you're only the second person ever to win that tournament. That's a great accomplishment for you, Kairi, but I want to know who started giving you the right to start gassing yourself up. You say you and me are a lot alike, and sure, maybe that was true back in our NXT heyday, you know, back when we used to be friends, back when I used to respect you. Maybe that was true, but that's not any true right now because I'm the champion. I'm on a whole nother level, and you're like at least 2, maybe 3 steps below me. Okay? You wanna know what's funny? You're funny because you spent the last 2 years being nothing but Io Shirai's lapdog, being nothing but Io Shirai's sidekick, the Robin to her Batman, you know. And all of a sudden, because she's gone, you start stepping up into the spotlight. You were happily holding yourself back from being the star that you think you can be. That makes us not alike, Kairi. That makes you weak. And you know the old Dakota Kai, like you said, we used to be a lot alike. She'd have been exactly the same as you, and we'd have been the exact same situation. But that's where we differ now, because I grew up. When my friends were holding me back, I went into war games. I kicked their head off, and I never looked back since. But you, Kyrie, you're happy to just coast. You're happy to sit here and be Io's friend, because Io's the successful one out of the two of you. And you getting to be by Io's side gives you the WrestleMania matches, gives you the main events. You get to wrestle Io's challenges and lose to them. That's your little spot. Now all of a sudden, because your friend's gone, you think you can beat me? I'm on top of my game. You're not even on your game. So yes, I do think it's funny. I think it's funny that you think that this is a matchup of equals, when you don't get to just sit around, coast on your laurels for 2 years, and then suddenly think that you deserve to be the SmackDown Women's Champion. That's not how it works, hon. If you're being held back, you've got to fight your way to the top and kick anybody in the face who tells you otherwise. How would Io feel when she comes back knowing that you took advantage of your own friend's absence for your own selfish personal gain? How would Io feel knowing that you waited for her to go away before you actually started to try? Imagine what you could have done together. But hell, Io's recovering at home, head's a bit wonky. She probably won't even remember you when she gets back. And hey, that's not my problem, that's your problem. You have to explain to her who you are. You go, hey, Io, my name's Kyrie, I'm your best friend. And when you were gone, I had the chance to be the champion, but I blew it. At SummerSlam, and Dakota kicked my face off. My features had to be rearranged. I was joining you in the hospital. And Dakota just signs the pen. And Kyrie goes to speak. And she's like, oh, what? Cat got your tongue, Kyrie. Cat got your tongue. Well, I think we've had enough here. I'll see you at SummerSlam. Then Kyrie stands up and spins her around. Twats her in the face. And Dakota falls to the floor and rolls out of the ring. Walks back up the ramp as Kyrie angrily signs the contract herself. Then who interrupts but Cora Jade, of all people? And Bayley comes out alongside her. And Cora's like, well, hi, Kyrie, Dakota, hi. And she turns back to Bayley, like, are you sure? And Bayley's like, positive, you know. And Cora's like, well, me and Bayley, we have a Women's Tag Team Championship match coming up on Raw. And I really need to, get my practice in. And what better way than to beat another potential future champion? So, Cora Jade, Dakota Kai, one-on-one right now. What do you say? And Kyrie's like, sure, I'll fight you. Why not? So then we get Cora and Kyrie in a match. 66 because they've got shit chemistry, okay? Again, it's never just, they've got a little bit of an issue. It's always neutral or abysmal. They're the only two ratings of chemistry I have. But Kyrie gets the win, insane elbow. Cora gets a 41, 69 for Kyrie. They are both scoring higher than that, but the game decided they don't click. Because of course they did. But yeah, Cora randomly, Bayley was like, you gotta go test yourself against Kyrie. And very tense contract signing, Kyrie's gonna get some frustrations out, and unfortunately Bayley's thrown Cora to the wolves in that regard. We then come backstage to the House of Black. Because they're talking about, it's nice to see that our enemies are already deciding better than to fight us. Tonight we have to team with two of them, but one of the other enemies already left. Which is funny, because I see one of the friends has already left. After Elias was defeated last week, he is being suitably punished. But tonight, Cole, Murphy, Dijakovic, hell, I hope even Ciampa and Gargano are listening. Because tonight they're our partners, but come SummerSlam, they'll be our enemies. But let this be a lesson not to stick your nose in our business ever again. And that we then fade from that to Pierce's office. When Adam Cole comes storming in, he's like, Pierce, what the hell? And Pierce's like, what? Like, you know exactly what. Kevin, I knew this would happen. This is why I was like, hey, in my head I was telling me, this guy, he may be your old friend, but he's like such a snake. And he stabs everybody in the back that he's ever friends with, but for some reason I trusted him. And now he's left me high and dry, Pierce. What am I supposed to do? Pierce like, calm down, look. Nobody expected Kevin to just leave like he did. But we have to deal with that situation now. And you're now without a partner, both at SummerSlam and tonight. And Cole's like, I see that, genius. And Pierce is like, well, I'll give you the rest of the night to find a friend. And if you can find a friend, he can be your tag team partner in that match tonight. And Cole's like, well, why have to look for a friend? And Pierce's like, well, since you know Kevin Owens was the backstabber, and you were the great guy who would never stab his friends in the back, maybe go talk to Roddy and Bobby. Maybe they'll take you back. And Cole's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. But, like, I will find another partner, don't you worry. So, yes, we have to address the big elephant in the room, which is Kevin Owens decided that he wanted to become the Prime Minister of Canada and leaving for 4 years on a political quest. So, I mean, never say never, but I'm assuming that's him out of the series forever now. Like, I doubt I'm going to get 4 more years. Again, you never know, but I'm assuming he's done now. I may as well release him at this point, because he's decided that he's going to go be a politician. Him and Kenny Omega both running for Canadian office. But that does leave Adam Cole without a SummerSlam plan, because obviously it was going to be the 4-way for the tag titles. But while I do have a partner for Cole tonight, I'm not sold on that being his partner at the pay-per-view, so maybe I'll have to find something else for him to do, or he's just going to get fucked over. Which obviously plays into the story of him knowing that Kevin Owens was going to stab him in the back. 82 for this match. Crypto Corbin and Ricochet for the US title. Crypto Corbin does it again. He pins Ricochet with a handful of tights in 10:54. And just like the stock prices of his favourite Lazy Ape, his stock is going up, baby. Which is actually important for Ricochet, because I believe he has a Cruiserweight title tournament semi-final also tonight against Dominic. How will that weigh on his mind going into that match? 97 for Ricochet, 82 for Corbin. But Corbin retains his United States Championship. Crypto Corbin cannot be stopped. And then come backstage to Carmelo Hayes. He's on the phone to Trick. Like, we're not trying to hide who he's on the phone to. We can actually hear Trick's voice going, oh yeah, you Melo. You're the Mr. Money in the Bank, Melo. I'll be back soon. The doctors are giving me good updates, Melo. I'll be back. And then he's talking like, yeah, that's Trick. That's so sick. You know, me and you back, Trick and Melo, like it always is, like it's always meant to be, you know? And then we hear loud noises of guitar shredding in the back. He's like, hey, can you hold for a sec, Trick? He's like, excuse me. And Boogs and Nakamura are there. He's like, I'm on the phone. And then he's like, anyway, as I was saying, and then Boogs continues shredding his guitar. He's like, I fucking told you I was on the... Takes the guitar, smashes the guitar on the floor, and he says, you packed that in while Melo, the A-champ's on the phone, you know, the future World Heavyweight Champion is speaking. And Shinsuke gets in his face, he goes, if you disrespect my friend again, I meet you in the ring later on tonight. And Trick, obviously he's still on the phone, can hear all this. You can just hear him voice on the end of the phone going, yeah, whoop his ass, Melo. Whoop his ass, Melo. You got him. You got this, Melo. You're going to whip his ass. And Melo's like, well, I can't let Trick down. See you in that ring, Shin. So, I guess the main event match tonight is Melo versus Shinsuke. But obviously the main event segment is whatever Cody and Roman are doing. Toxic Lounge. Mandy, Gigi, and JC are here. Mandy goes, well, isn't this funny? You know? Mandy Rose, the hottest SmackDown Women's Superstar, was supposed to be in a qualifying match for the Liberty Championship tonight, and I was going to beat that Anne-Marie Porter, and I was going to punch my ticket to SummerSlam. But I guess this Anne-Marie girl is a coward, and she's not medically cleared to be here tonight. So I guess you won't be seeing that match. Which means Mr. Pierce has to come out here and, you know, award me the winner by forfeit and a spot at SummerSlam. And he's like, well, come on out, Adam. I haven't got all day, you know. We've got other people that need to be here. The show needs to go on, so just give me what I deserve. And then out comes Shotzi. Man's like, you need to you need to shut your mouth, Mandy. You don't get to just get a bye into the tournament. I had to work my ass off and beat Raquel to get in here, you know. You don't get to just walk in. In fact, I'll fight you for it right now. And Tony Storm comes like, I agree with Shotzi. Like, after all the hard work I've put in to get into this tournament, then, like, you don't get to just get a bye because Anne-Marie got injured. And then Gigi and JC start piping up like, well, look who's opened their little mouths. It's the women who are going to get embarrassed by Toxic Attraction at SummerSlam when Mandy Rose becomes the first ever Liberty champion, and because there's never going to be a better champion apart from maybe me or Gigi to put it on and have it look good. Certainly not this. She points at Shotzi. And then out comes Kelsey, you know, Anne-Marie's partner. It's like, what is all the... I don't understand what all the drama is about out here. Like, as Anne-Marie's partner, I should be the one to step in and take her spot in this qualifying match, you know? If she can't be here, I'll be here. And I'll take Mandy, and I'll beat Mandy and go to SummerSlam. And Pierre's like, you know, Kelsey, you all got great ideas here, so it is official. Instead of Anne-Marie Porter, Kelsey Cook from Double Trouble will be the one in the match. So I had to quickly do a bait and switch because Anne-Marie got hurt on Heat, along with Mina, I believe, 2 of the J-Flow people. Oh no, 2 injuries, not even just 1 of the J-Flow people. Anyway, qualifying match, Mandy beats Kelsey, obviously. The Bed of Roses in 8 minutes 14. 49 for Kelsey, 63 for Mandy. And yes, the lineup for the Liberty Championship match is now complete. Mandy Rose, Toni Storm, Shotzi, Blackheart, Florence, Alba Fire, and Liv Morgan. One of those 6 will be your inaugural Women's Liberty Champion. Adam Cole, baby! Oh, yeah, so damn right, that's a very good gimmick. Adam Cole, baby. In the ring. And he's like, who's ready for story time with Adam Cole, baby? He's not very enthusiastic. He's like, so, there's been story time with Adam Cole, baby. I want to tell you a story. It's a story about a little guy in NXT. His name's Kevin Owens, okay? He makes his debut. NXT TakeOver R Evolution. His best friend Sami Zayn in the main event becomes the NXT champion. He finally rises to that mountaintop. All the fans have been waiting for him to do it, and he finally becomes the champion. His best friend on his first night in WWE. They hug in the ring. It's a great moment. And then the son of a bitch powerbombs him on the apron. From day one, he was a backstabber. I want to tell you another story time of Adam Cole, baby. There's this little guy named Chris Jericho. You may have heard of him. Him and Kevin Owens, best friends till the very end. You know, they were inseparable. They were never, ever going to be apart. You know what happened? Kevin Owens had a festival to celebrate their friendship together. He stabbed him in the back. I want to tell another little story of Adam Cole, baby. Bivens Enterprises, Malcolm Bivens. His quest to stay on top of SmackDown recruited many of the top stars in this industry. AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Chad Gable, Dakota Kai. You know, all these top names. And how did that group fall apart? Kevin Owens stabbed AJ Styles in the back. And the most recent episode of Storytime of Adam Cole, baby, last weekend, I'm sat on my phone after it gets announced that we're going to have an 8-person tag team match tonight. Myself and my best friend Kevin Owens, who's definitely going to stab me in the back, will be teaming with Buddy Murphy and Dijakovic against Aleister Black and Brody King of the House of Black and DIY. And little do I see, Kevin Owens, with no warning and no explanation, he's finished being a professional wrestler, apparently. He's now a politician. He's going to become the next Prime Minister of Canada or fucking Montreal, Quebec, or whatever the fuck he's running for. And he left me high and dry, like I told you he would. And now I'm without a partner, both for SummerSlam and for tonight. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He only cares about his own selfish games, and any Canadian citizens watching this, do not vote for that selfish man who's running for Prime Minister of Canada. In fact, I know another professional wrestler who's taken a leave of absence to go and run in Canada. Vote for him instead, because he's my actual friend. For life. But anyway, Adam Cole, baby. World-class competitor. can do it all by himself if he wants to, but I shouldn't have to. But here we are. I can't find friends on short notice, Piers. It's not because I backstabbed them all, it's because it's so short notice everyone's already booked. Then out come the House of Black. And they get in his face, and they're like, it seems Kevin had the right idea with, rejecting the opportunity to fight us at SummerSlam. And if you know what's good for you, Cole, you'll leave this ring as well. Because we may be down a member, but we'll still kick your ass. Unfamiliar music then plays. An unfamiliar name then puts up on the Titantron. But a familiar face walks out. Or so we think. To the ring marches a man named Ezekiel. And he gets into the ring and he goes, wow, I'm here on SmackDown, finally! And obviously the House of Black just glare at him. And Malachi's like, Elias? And Ezekiel's like, no. I'm not Elias. I understand why you may think I'm Elias, but Elias is my older brother. I'm his younger brother, Ezekiel. And Cole's in the background, over just like shaking his head like, what the fuck is this? And Alistair's like, nice try, Elias. We've been looking for you all day. You think you can just walk out on the House of Black like this? And Ezekiel's like, no, actually, I was looking for you, Malachi, because I know my brother hangs around with you weird people. And, like, it's weird. Okay, he does what he does, but I also heard that he wasn't around here today. That's why I've come out here, because I thought that you'd know where he is. And Alistair's like, cut the crap. And Ezekiel's like, well, I'm not doing any crap. I'm just out here on SmackDown to make my WWE debut. And Cole's like, well, that's an interesting story, baby. Tell you what, if you've got issues with these guys, why don't you be my partner in this 8-man tag team match tonight? And Ezekiel's like, sure, I'll be your partner. I'll make my in-ring debut tonight. But after that, you tell me where my brother is, okay? So we get an 8-man tag team match. Apparently Elias has a baby brother. His name's Ezekiel. And he's teaming up with Adam Cole. And oh my god, the match gets an 86. This is Ezekiel's first ever match in the save. And Adam Cole, Buddy Murphy, Dijakovic, and Ezekiel defeat the team of DIY and the House of Black. Because Ezekiel pins Brody King with a diving elbow drop. 76. Ezekiel's first match, like, ever. And he's getting a 76. That must be a new record for, like, debut score. 71 for Dijakovic, 83 for Buddy Murphy, 90 for Adam Cole, 73 for Brody King, 87 for Aleister Black, 65 for Ciampa, and an 80 for Gargano. So, who knows what the SummerSlam future of Adam Cole holds, but tonight, Elias's baby brother stepped up to be his partner. But nobody knows the whereabouts of actual Elias, you know? We then get a quick interrupting segment. Pat McAfee storms to the ring. He goes, sorry to interrupt you, WWE Universe, but last week I exposed Chad Gable for what he is, and that's a punk-ass losing bitch. He was just mad that he got beaten by those boys, Daniel Bryan, Braun Breaker, and Keith Lee. And at SummerSlam, Bryan's going to whoop Brock Lesnar's ass. Braun Breaker and Keith Lee going to whoop Jimmy Uso and Jacob Fatu's ass. And here I am at SummerSlam. I'm gonna whoop Chad Gable's ass. And out come the Academy. He's like, McAfee, like, you're just a footballer. You don't wrestle. I'm not wasting my time getting into the ring with you. Like, I've got bigger fish to fry than you, a non-wrestler. McAfee's like, well, didn't realize I was dealing with a coward here. Coward Gable, you know. Chicken Gable. Maybe if the gold medal or the Olympic sport that you were in back in 2012 was, instead of wrestling, was being a coward little bitch, maybe you'd have actually won gold. Oh. Yeah, I was like, you shut your mouth, McAfee. In fact, no, you know what? You're on at SummerSlam, me and you. I'm gonna shut it for you. And Pat's like, yes, finally, chance to shut up Coward Gable's mouth. Coward Gable. Coward Gable. So Pat McAfee, he's been having issues with Gable for weeks in interviews backstage. And it's now official. He's going to be making, I think it might be his in-ring debut, so I don't know if he had the NXT matches in my save, at SummerSlam against Gable in a singles match. Because if I'm putting Pat McAfee in there for a match, you can't go wrong with Gable, really. That's a sort of perfect guy to put him in there with. So yes, Pat McAfee will be wrestling at SummerSlam, as will Logan Paul and KS. Different nights. Pat and Gable is on night 1, and the Team Prime versus Miz and Waller match is on night 2. But yes, after what happened in real life, I had to get Pat McAfee in the ring. He's still the correspondent of SmackDown, but he's finally caused issues with somebody, and they're settling it in the ring at SummerSlam in Boston. Which, did he actually play for a New England team? No, he played for Kansas City, because that's where Corbin played, I believe. Because that was the story for SummerSlam this year in real life. But I'm going to Google it. Pat McAfee teams, right now. In case you can tell by my voice, I'm not exactly the biggest follower of American sports. Indianapolis. No, that's not. That's not Boston at all. 90 rated Matt. I knew this would be good. I thought it was going to be like in the 80s, like 84 or something. Mello, you know. Plan on doing the long-term Mr. Money in the Bank run with him. But he might already be ready based on this rating. 85 for Carmelo Hayes, 92 for Nakamura. And Carmelo beats him. Just a fun, you know, one night feud. Because I think those are cool. Like, I don't do enough of those, like random matches that are set up early on in the show and then they happen that night. Just like quick one night stories, 2 week stories. So yeah, Boogs was shredding his guitar, interrupting his phone call with Trick, and Mello beat him. 14 minutes 11 seconds with the big top rope diving leg drop. After the match is where shit gets interesting, though. Because obviously, what I'm imagining is Carmelo Hayes, he's celebrating on the ramp, whatever. Then we go to ads after he wins, and we come back, and he's walking through the hallway after he's got his win. And Kayla catches up to him, and she's like, "Carmelo Hayes, you know, what a win for you here on SmackDown. As you continue your rise as Mr. Money in the Bank, you know, Trick Williams, obviously he's not here with you. You're not letting that stop your rise." It's like, that you know that's all about it, Kayla. Nothing can stop the rise of Mello, because when I step into that ring, I don't miss. And Kayla's like, well, that's not entirely true, because you are currently scheduled to miss SummerSlam. I kind of like, I know. It's a joke, like, I'm Mr. Money in the Bank, the fastest rising star in WWE, the future WWE champion. No room for Mello on your show, okay? Maybe they're scared that I'm going to embarrass all their faves at the pay-per-view. But this right here guarantees me a WWE Championship match whenever I want it. I can take this in and I can wrestle Roman Reigns whenever I want to wrestle Roman Reigns. And maybe that will be at SummerSlam. Who says I'm missing SummerSlam? Because with this golden ticket, I've got a trip to every venue, baby. And then he walks off and he bumps into Seth Rollins. And he's like, "You gotta watch where you're fucking walking. You're messing with the A-Champ. Mr. Money in the Bank here. Something you can't do." And that's become WWE champion. And Seth's like, alright, watch your fucking mouth. Like, I've been you before, bro. Like, you don't need to give lip to me. But I've got other stuff on my mind right now. And he just walks off. Speaking of other stuff, wrestling has more than one royal family. For the first time in 6 years, Cody Rhodes is on SmackDown. And he says, "Oh, how I miss being in blue. You know, my home has been Monday Night Raw since I returned to WWE, but I thought I'd make myself a trip over to SmackDown tonight. Because as much as I'm putting on a happy face right now and acting like the big hero for all you people, I'm pissed off as hell. Roman Reigns on Monday Night Raw, me and him were having our clash for his WWE Championship, and he knew that I had his number. He knew that the American Nightmare's destiny was to defeat him and become WWE Champion inside the world's most famous arena, and he knew that I was going to achieve that destiny, so he took the coward's way out and got counted out. Now, obviously, there is some very cruel irony in the fact that Cody Rhodes, son of Dusty Rhodes, the American Nightmare, got counted out in a WWE Championship match inside Madison Square Garden, but we're not going to look forward on those. We're going to look forward to SummerSlam. Because I challenge Roman Reigns to a rematch for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. What do you say? Seth Rollins comes out. He goes, Cody. Like, I respect you, my brother. Like, me and you, we went to war at King of the Ring. You gave me one of the greatest matches of my career, and I gave you one of yours. Well, on the same night, because you had two of the greatest matches in the company history on one night, you know. A lot of respect for that. That being said, you had your opportunity, you won by winning King of the Ring, and you didn't become the champion. So, it only feels natural now you've had your shot to let somebody else have a crack at set Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. Why can't that person be me? Because like, well, I'll tell you why, Seth, because you lost at the Royal Rumble, and despite you trying to backdoor your way through matches with Roman Reigns by winning Money in the Bank and King of the Ring, I mean, I respect the hustle, but you can't just get in this match. Like, you're banned. You're not allowed. And Seth's like, no, you make a fair point. I'm an honorable guy, and I'll listen to the stipulations, but, you know, I'm telling you, Cody, you need to be WWE Champion. I'm not taking that away from you. But I need to be WWE Champion at the expense of Roman Reigns after what he did to me. If there's any way for me to get back in there, I'm gonna take it. So why don't we run King of the Ring final again? Since the winner of King of the Ring gets a championship opportunity at SummerSlam. That's not the case anymore because you've had your title opportunity. So if we won the final back, we do Seth Rollins, we do Cody Rhodes in this ring one final time. Guaranteed SummerSlam championship opportunity on the line no matter what for whoever wins that match. Roman Reigns' music hits. He goes, Seth, you're sounding very desperate. Like, I smashed you already. Get out of my ring. Cody, I smashed you on Raw. Get out of my ring. It's time for the Tribal Chief to enter his yard and let everybody know what's going down at SummerSlam. Because quite frankly, none of y'all deserve a shot at this. I smashed you all. And Cody goes, well, Roman, I didn't realize that the Tribal Chief is such a tribal bitch. And so it's like, yeah, he's a tribal bitch. And the only reason you put that stipulation on me back at the Royal Rumble is because you're scared of me whooping your ass. And Roman goes, both of y'all really think you can whoop my ass, huh? You both of y'all, you think you can whoop my ass at SummerSlam, you can take the Tribal Chief at SummerSlam. Well, here's the thing. Here's what's happening, y'all. Seth, you do not get to face me at SummerSlam. But I'm gonna need you to do one thing for me. Listen to your Tribal Chief here. I want you to go to Raw. I want you to go to Raw this Monday night. And I want you to have that big rematch. Hell, I'm a fan of what we do here. I would love to see you and the American Nightmare run it back one more time. How about you head to Raw, Seth? And you face the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. If Cody Rhodes beats you, I'll acknowledge him and I'll give him this rematch that he's so desperate for at SummerSlam. He's desperate to get his ass whooping again. But Seth, what's in it for you? If you really don't want Cody to dethrone me and become the WWE Champion, then y'all win that match. Y'all win that match, Seth. And who knows? there's more of a chance that your tribal chief here, if you do him a solid, he'll consider lifting that stipulation. But if you lose, there's no chance that stipulation's getting lifted, Seth. So that's what's in it for you. You want this. You want to take this from me so much. Do it. Go to Raw, whoop his ass, and then come see me on SmackDown next week. And then we'll maybe be able to discuss things. Cody, if you want this so much, you want to make Daddy proud, and not make him look like he was a failure and a disappointment and a waste of a king, then y'all whip Seth Rollins' ass, beat him on Raw, take his moment away from him, and then you meet me at SmackDown, and we'll sign a contract for SummerSlam. It's my yard, my championship, my show. I make the rules. Big segment there. Because I guess Roman would also mention that, like, no countouts or disqualifications or whatever, like, we will have a winner, Seth Rollins and Cody. So one of them will not be in the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. I want to stress that enough. This is me breaking the fourth wall. I want to stress enough that we are not doing a triple threat match at SummerSlam. One of these men will miss out. Will it be Seth Rollins or will it be Cody? You have to tune into Raw to find out. 91. Very good show. Banger main event. And yeah, I'll see you for Velocity, where we're going to have the 2 semi-finals of the Cruiserweight World Cup. That tournament is nearly over. 84 rated opening match of the night. The first semi-final of the Cruiserweight World Cup. Rey Mysterio, one of the greatest luchadors of all time, one of the greatest Cruiserweight champions of all time, has a chance to run it back at SummerSlam. He defeats Roderick Strong in 18 minutes and 20 seconds with a 619 into a West Coast pop. 75 for Roddy, 76 for Rey. And they get an 84 rated match as a good match. And Rey Mysterio's going to SummerSlam. And what is interesting, is that his son, Dominic, is in the other semi-final. So could we be getting father versus son? Or is Rey going to be busy wrestling Ricochet on that night? 65. Thankfully, Kushida was in this, and he's recognisable, so that's why the match did alright. But the team of Daichi Hashimoto, Yosuke Akatsuka, and Kushida, the NXT Japan trio, this is a very international flavoured match here. Team Japan beats Team UK, the team of RKJ, Nathan Fraser, and Charlie Dempsey. Yosuke pins RKJ with the Stargazer. 31 for Charlie, 63 for Fraser, 56 for RKJ, 71 for Kushida, 60 for Yosuke, and a 51 for Daichi. Another 6-man tag here on Velocity. What is RJC cooking? And an 81 rated main event. The second semi-final match of the Cruiserweight World Cup. We're not getting father versus son. I put this on last specifically because I know if I had Rey win the opener, people would think Dominic's winning this. No, he doesn't. Ricochet wins. 6:30 and 15:29. He lost to Crypto Corbin on the main SmackDown, but he made up for it here by winning in the Cruiserweight World Cup and going to the Cruiserweight World Cup final to be crowned the first, of this era, the Cruiserweight champion, when Ricochet takes on Rey Mysterio. Just a big banger match to stick on SummerSlam, and that's why I picked them two specifically. Anyway, the show gets an 80, and I'll see you next time for the Raw Go Home show. Promises to be a big one. The main event will be Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. WWE Championship implications. See you then.